Hey Hui, today I will be eating green chicken curry, chicken green curry. Let's see if it opens nicely. It's hot. Hey. This one was also purely white, as you will see with the cutting footage, but as I heated it up, it also started to bubble. But this time I made sure that the power of the microwave wasn't too strong. Because as you can tell, I've moved to a much more quieter place. And this microwave tells you how many watts of power it has. But let's try. Let's try some of the rice without the sauce. I think it's probably the same as the other one. Very aromatic. Let's try some of the green one with the sauce. When it was being reheated in the microwave, the aroma started to really develop and it smells incredibly good. I have already had a Jimmy Joy shake, the plenty shake, but it was a couple of hours ago. I wonder what green curry is. Is it maybe a different variant of curry? It does taste more green. Let me mix it up. I'd say it looks really nice. I could put it into a plate, but I kind of prefer eating it this way. Let's see, it's surprisingly hot. A big chunk of chicken. So incredibly delicious and so soft. It just falls apart in your mouth. We are having a bit of a heat wave here in Lisbon. Yesterday the Apple weather said like 37 degrees Celsius. And that this house doesn't have an AC. Actually, In all 5 of the apartments that I've lived since coming to Lisbon 2 years ago, none of them had an AC. Then again, even in Slovenia, we also never had ACs. Air conditioning units. This is really delicious. I don't know if it's because I already had a plenty shake from Jimmy Joy, or if the butter chicken one from last time is vastly different, but I feel like I preferred the butter chicken one. This one is still incredibly delicious, and I will probably buy more of it. But it is quite expensive. It costs the same as the previous one. Like between slightly, I think it's slightly more than €2.5, which I know that for many it might not seem a lot, but in the current situation that makes this extreme luxury. I think it's a bamboo. Bamboo. Bamboo? Bamboo. Mm-hmm. Mm, that's nice. I moved only like 2 days ago, and I a friend's boyfriend gave me the Glovo backpack that you might see the edge of there. I haven't done any deliveries as a job because it's quite a process to apply for it, and the salary is currently below minimum wage if you work only 40 hours a week. But I am keeping it as a backup plan if everything else fails. I used that backpack to load my stuff in the previous room, and then I rode my motorcycle here to the new one, and I did that like 6 or 8 times. I spent 2 mornings just riding around. Even just in first day I already memorized the whole path by heart. And then for the bigger stuff, like the vacuum cleaner and the drying rack, a friend of mine was in the city because she had some stuff to do, but she has a car, so she offered to help me, and I just loaded the car with that, and she drove me here. I unloaded it, and it was done. So I really appreciate her help because this stuff is too big, especially the suitcases. They're too big to safely put them onto the motorcycle. Like, I'm sure it's possible, but it wouldn't be very safe. So getting her help was really incredible because the other options were just to walk, because it's like 1 to 2 kilometers away from the previous room, or to hire an Uber. Renting a car wouldn't really make sense for such a distance. But with Uber, I would feel a bit bad because it's like I would call them and then they would come to my place and I would be like, okay, could you now wait like 20 minutes for me to load the car? Because the previous room was on 5th floor. This room is on 1st floor. Very delicious. I'm happy I bought it. Vitasia Thai style chicken green curry. It is very hot. I turned off the ventilator here just to record this video, but the moment I will stop recording I will turn it back on. I am surprised that they mix two variants of rice. They mix basmati and jasmine rice. Very delicious. I wonder what the factory to make this looks like. This is like, technologically speaking, this is peak of food science. Even just the microwaves are basically magic. Now imagine telling someone that you just put a plastic box, you put the box into the magical box, you put the tiny box into the big magical box that heats up the tiny box, and you have basically restaurant grade food available in like 5 minutes. We are really living in the best of times. Look at that. A bean. I think it's a bean. At the start of this week, I also started Portuguese language course that is organized by the employment center here in Portugal. We had 4 days of lessons, so from Monday until Thursday. We were supposed to have them also on Friday, but the heat wave started and the teacher's refrigerator broke, so she said that we will not have classes on Friday. And the next 2 weeks, she's on vacation. So we basically had like a week of classes, then 2 weeks of no classes. I think then we have 3 weeks of classes again, and then again like no class for 2 or 3 weeks because apparently the whole Portugal is on vacation. And then some more classes. In total, we will have 150 hours of classes. And if I pass all of the tests, at the end, I should be able to receive the certificate for A1 and A2 language proficiency for Portuguese. I am a bit anxious though because I barely understand anything. Like, I don't even know how to say the connecting words like only or would and such. But we have just started, so maybe hopefully I will learn it as we go on. We do have tests every week and a half of courses, classes. I think it might be slightly spicy, but it really does taste like a different curry. It tastes like it does taste like curry, but it tastes like a different variant of curry. Almost like I don't really know what to compare it with. Like different sorts of apples, because some apples are very sweet and then some apples are quite bitter. Or oranges. When I lived in Greece, everything was concrete. But they did have orange trees everywhere. But they planted orange trees that taste extremely bitter. So no one actually picked the oranges, and oranges just dropped on the street and rotted there. Which, like, I get you don't want people picking public trees, but I feel like if people are that hungry, it's better to let them pick the fruits than letting the fruits just rot on the street, because I feel that orange tree without oranges is still a better sight than orange tree surrounded by green mold. It's so hot. I mean, it's manageable. I do feel everything sticking to me, which is why I am wearing the shortest dress that I can have. Another bean. In the previous apartment, I shared it with about 15 people, which is a bit too much if you ask me. I think maybe this might be edamame beans, but I'm not certain. The current apartment I'm sharing with the landlady and her 2 kids, so it's much more humane. And I have my own bathroom, which is a major bonus. That was actually the reason I I asked to rent this place just because it has a private bathroom. I guess having to share a bathroom with like 15 people made me not want to share a bathroom anytime soon with many other people. I think the main issue is just when there are so many people that you can't keep others accountable, and that way people get away with bad behavior and like not cleaning the toilet and the bathroom. There are no Lidls nearby. I think the closest one is like 2 kilometers away. There are a bunch of other stores nearby though, but I really like the Lidl's loyalty program because you get basically 1% cash back on all your purchases, and some weekends they even make it 2%. And they have often sales and even coupons, so it makes it even more affordable. This is so delicious. I've never actually had chicken green curry, or butter curry for that matter, but it's just so very delicious and very aromatic. There we go. But yeah, delicious. It has 515 calories, so it's a proper meal. But yeah, I'm optimistic about the future. The only worry I have is I feel that the landlady usually rents this room out to students, and those students leave in a year. I'm worried if she will ask me to leave or if she will allow me to stay. Financially, it would make more sense to have a stable tenant so that you're always earning money. But she could have other reasons than money for renting the room out. The room is slightly smaller, as you can see, but it's plenty enough for me. Thanks for watching.